Hello everyone, Shana here with CA Bar Style. I hope you are all doing well and enjoying this holiday season. It has been quite a few years for everybody, and I hope you're hanging in there, trying to keep positive. I know we all have different levels of what we've just experienced and how it's impacted our lives with this pandemic and a lot of other things that have gone on politically and socially. So, whatever your views are, however you're feeling, I just pray that you are well and that you are moving towards your goal to get the California bar exam past you if that is something on your list. Now, I'm making this video today to go over early prep, in particular early prep for July 2022. I'm getting a lot of calls regarding, why start early? What is the purpose of starting early? I created this early prep program about 7-8 years ago, halfway into the inception of CA Bar Style, because I saw a lot of applicants that needed more time to prepare, and it's just that simple. There are a lot of applicants that get lost in a 2-month course. So what I did was I developed this program, and there are other early prep programs with other courses. Mine is very unique because those other courses just give you materials early and tell you you're on your own, just start studying. This is a structured program that will give you the head start that you need to really build a foundation so that when you get into the second half of your prep, about the 2-3 months before the exam you're going to take, you are not ready to take the bar, but you're in a much stronger position to tackle it. And you don't feel as overwhelmed because you've had all this time of good preparation. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of steps and goals of early prep. Before I get to that, who should be considering an early prep? Everybody, every single applicant. Whether you are in your last semester of law school or your last year of law school, more and more I'm getting first-time takers out of law school that want to, or in law school, that want to get started early. So I'll make the schedule, the early prep schedule, which is customized for every particular applicant's needs. No two applicants in my early prep program have the same scheduling. So if you're a first-time taker in your last year of law school and you know yourself that from your law school preparation and your finals, cramming never worked for you, which really doesn't work for anybody on the California bar, especially, or just kind of doing things in a rushed way 2 months before the bar exam is not going to be in your best interest. Maybe you're a parent and you have other, you have kid responsibilities, or you're a working applicant and you're going to have to keep working part-time or full-time during bar prep. This is a great option for you. Repeat applicants that also could be parents or working, or just knowing that they've taken the bar multiple times and they need more time to sit with it. I had a woman tell me just yesterday that she knows the reason she's taken the bar now 7 times is because she has not given herself enough time to really sit with the material, to connect with everything in a good, meaningful way. So you really do have to know yourself. International applicants, those that come from other countries and come to California to take the bar here and want to try and tackle it within 2 months, 3 months, that's usually not the ideal situation. You have a lot of law to review, and then you have to get into all the other steps to the prep. So those types of applicants, which really fits into every different type of applicant, other than I think I haven't touched upon attorney applicants, and this definitely can be beneficial for you as well, especially if you have not been subjected to California law, California distinctions and evidence and civil procedure and professional responsibility, wills and trusts, community property, so on and so forth. You would definitely benefit from starting early. And the first step is connecting with the law, because there are 13, 14 subjects depending on how you break down the law, and you really want to make sure you're giving yourself enough time to connect with the black letter law and make sure that it's not rushed. You're not just reading outlines. That's just going to go out, in one ear, one eye, out the other, right? You're not going to remember it. So there's a methodical way in your schedule that I have you start connecting with the rules, understanding the rules, and then giving you that substantive law support in case you do need more clarity on the law. You cannot properly apply the law to any area of the exam. I mean, even though the performance test is a closed universe, the instructions have recently added that your general knowledge of that area of law is important and should come into play. So the areas of law need to be clear for you to be able to properly apply them and execute them for your points on the multiple choice essays and the performance test. So the schedule that I make is very substantive law heavy. That is usually why people want to get started early, because they're worried about how much time they're going to have for that law review. Now, that's just the first step. So in early prep, we also tackle approach. We get started on, after you review that category of law, well, how does that law get tested? And that's a very crucial step. It's the main reason applicants do not pass the essay, the performance test, the MBE. What is the approach to writing for the 8-9 different ways of homicide? How does that come up on California essays? What is the way to approach a 90-minute PT? So we get started with that. It's not very intensive, but we do kind of scratch the surface, give you that first round of approach so you start learning it. And that, when you get to the course, the 2-month course, 3-month course, it's not the first time that you've seen approach. So that reconnection will keep happening so that by the time you get to the bar, you're really ready to go and execute. Now, the next step is practice. In early prep, we do start practice. If you're going to spend 3, 4, 5, 6 months starting early and just reading through outlines, waste of time, okay? You want to make sure that you're reviewing the law, you're learning approach, but then you're also starting to see how you deal with the practice. How are these areas tested in a fact pattern way, in a multiple choice way, and of course the execution of the 90-minute objective or persuasive PT. So you do get started on some light practice. Everybody is different depending on how much practice I recommend, depending on your individual circumstance. Now, the last step is the tutoring. So I get this question a lot. Do we start tutoring in early prep? Yes, for most applicants, they do want assessment started, especially first-time takers, repeat applicants. They want to know, where am I losing points and how to start fixing it? Because if you can gain that clarity in a very early stage, you can start developing the skills needed to improve. And by the time you get to the second half, when I'm talking about the July bar, that would be around mid-May when the course would start, you have real insider information. You know yourself a lot better and you know where you need to improve. And I'm working with you on everything in this early stage, from scheduling to your confidence building to your time management, right? Which is probably one of the main reasons you want to start early, making sure you have that structure and you have that time to really tackle the 2-3 month practice phase, the course right before the bar, and getting to know yourself in terms of areas that you need to increase your points. So by the time you get to May, you're not necessarily ready to tackle the exam, but you have a very strong foundation built. And that is really productive for a lot of applicants, especially those not just coming off a previous bar, but maybe they skipped that bar and they have the time to prepare. So don't try and do this on your own. I find that independent study along the years has the lowest passage rate for applicants. If you really want guidance and you want to make sure that your studying is going in the right direction, just having your face in those books, reviewing law, and doing tons of practice on your own, but not really being sure if you're doing it the right way is, for most, a waste of time. And so let's get this done. Let's start early. Our first round for the July 2022 exam is going to be January 4th. I will have a second round likely around the first week of February, and then a final early prep round in March. I also can customize a date for you. Pick a date that would work better if you have travel plans, if you have work, maybe you're a working attorney and you have a trial coming up, so you want to kind of base your studying around that. Make sure that we pick a date that works for you and we get the schedule going and see how you do on it, okay? You don't know how you're going to do on it until you get started. Any questions, please email me at cabarstyle@yahoo.com or give me a call at 818-616-3302. I will take limited applicants for these start dates. So if you are interested, And by the way, you do have to have a consult. If you're interested, you got to schedule a consult with me. I have to make sure that when you are starting, based on your history with the test or whatever your goals are, does complement the start date. So it is important to schedule that consult with me. 30, 45 minutes. We'll do a Zoom, we'll do a phone call, and make sure that the plan that we have in place for you is the best situation. I wish you well. Again, keep positive, keep focused, and I will talk to you soon. Be well.